What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're here for the Singapore Grand Prix for season... I can't remember what season it is. That's really bad. That is actually really bad. I think it's season... Season 3? Oh my goodness. So we get 20 episodes. 20, 40... Yeah, it's season 3. I'm so sorry. Singapore, it's going to be McLaren heaven here. McLaren OP, especially now since it's raining for qualifying as well. This is going to be a really tough round for us. In the past, when it's been raining at Singapore, I've had some very crap results. So hopefully, with a little bit of experience at this track in weeks gone by in league racing, I can at least be a little bit more competitive than what I normally am. But thankfully enough, it stopped raining towards the final 4 minutes or so of qualifying. We went out, set the one time at the end of the session. The time was pretty crap in the end, 4.4 seconds off, but we did manage to get through to the next part of qualifying, and that was all I could have asked. Q2, a much better affair, completely dry, and we actually topped the session over both of the McLaren Hondas, so a great start to our dry weather running this weekend. A 136.9, that is 2/10 faster than my previous best, than what I did in my AOR qualifying. So really quick time. The cars are really quick 3 seasons into this career mode. But as you can see here, this is a very interesting scenario we have. It's actually season 4. I've just clocked onto that. Fernando Alonso didn't make it to qualifying 2. I was looking at the results screen of Q1 very quickly, and I didn't even know. I didn't think to check that he was out of Q1. I just thought his time was there. Maybe he was in the bottom end of the top 10 or something. I just missed his name. But in Q2, I was looking for Fernando, couldn't find him, and now we only have one McLaren Honda challenging for pole position in this Singapore Grand Prix. Again, at a racetrack where we're pretty much level on pace with the McLaren Hondas. Our main contender, our main rival is out. He's not in contention, and he's not going to be in contention for the race as well because it's so hard to overtake in this Grand Prix. He's not going to win. He's not going to have a chance of winning. So, yeah, I mean, in many ways, this season has been very disappointing for me. I really wanted to have a straight-up fight with McLaren, especially Alonso, but in circumstances where we are on the pace with those guys, we're just not... We're not on the same... we're never able to get that battle that we really want. There's only been a few moments this season where we've actually been able to battle with Fernando on track for... the lead of the Grand Prix, Monaco was one of those. But enough waffling. This is our final lap in Q3 here. You can see we're up by almost 7/10. It's not quite going to be enough. We need to find about 8-9 in order to get pole position. Stoffler's done a 136.0, and we're on target for 136.1. We've stuffed up this third sector as well, which really put harm to our chances of getting pole position. So the potential actually was there for me to get pole. I was doing really well up until I got to that third sector. There was a few corners where I just overstepped the mark. I went in a little bit too deep in the left-right kind of chicane under the tunnel, and then the next right-hander after that completely locked up and missed the apex, sent me a little bit wide there as well. So it's P2. The exciting thing though is we are very evenly matched with Stoffel Van Dorn for pace, so I'm really looking forward to this Grand Prix, duking it out with him and seeing how this race goes. Stoffel may even get P2 in the driver's standings if things go his way in this Grand Prix. But we now have 1,000 resource points. The options are drag reduction, which we could do. That'll be a 1-week implementation of that. But we could also go down the route of weight reduction, which will not only make us faster in a straight line, it'll make us faster in the corners, and just it's a better overall upgrade to do, despite it being a little bit more expensive. So, given that information, I think I'll go with the weight reduction. It's only going to take a week to go on the car, and hopefully it will be successful. We still need to bridge the gap to McLaren Honda. It's still very fast. Singapore, for some reason, is a bit of an anomaly as to why we're so close to them, but with some upgrades, hopefully now we can be a little bit more consistently close to them and really challenge at the front. It's time for the race now for the Singapore Grand Prix.
faster cars around you.
Alright, so here we are on the grid of the Singapore Grand Prix, starting from P2. Stoffel Van Dorn on pole position, as you guys saw from qualifying. It's going to be an interesting race. Myself and Stoffel very closely matched on pace. I think what's going to win either of us the race today is going to be the strategy. We're going to be going for the one stop and going very aggressive as well on the tyre compounds we're using, whereas Stoffel will most likely be doing a two stop, going ultras to supers and then probably supers again to finish the race, or conversely he could stretch it out on a one stop doing the medium stint that I did in my league race. Either way, strategy may well be the deciding factor in this race, so we'll see how it goes. It's going to really help our race if we can kind of contain Stoffel and keep him behind us. So track position will obviously be very paramount once again. But Fernando Alonso down the order. He's got a massive task ahead of him today if he wants to get on the podium. But 5 red lights and away we go for this Singapore Grand Prix. Pretty even start off the line there between myself and Stoffel. I think we'll have to, yeah, I can see the position there. Stoffel had the track position. He was the best part of a car length in front of me, and I could have maybe forced the issue up the inside, but with, you know, Fernando Alonso down the order, with the likelihood of not getting many points today, you know, it's not really worth the risk of chancing a 50-50 pass up the inside into turn 1. And just like that, the first lap is over. Stoffel already, surprisingly, with a lot of race pace early on. We've actually clipped the wall there on the exit of turn 3, I think it is, and we might have got away with that without any damage. So very lucky there. I was pushing on because, you know, the first lap for me personally was not great, and I really, you know, had to put the hammer down if I wanted to match Stoffel for pace, and that's what we've done on like lap 4, I think it is, purple to that lap, and hopefully we can continue to bridge that gap. Meanwhile, we had Nico Hulkenberg with a rear puncture, holds us up for good measure as well, which is not great for our race. Stoffel managed to stretch out the gap by another second on that lap. So pretty disappointing first stint, it must be said. I wasn't able to run with Stoffel, with the exception of that fastest lap for the majority of that stint. But yeah, he dives in very early. Super soft tyres are going on, and he is 100% committed to doing the two stop today. So yeah, for us, for our side of the camp, oh Jesus, we need to make sure that we keep it consistent on these tyres until we pin in around lap 11 or 12. So yeah, keeping the gap to Stoffel is going to be very difficult. He's on fresh super soft tyres, and we know how fast that McLaren Honda is at the best of times, let alone when they're on a very fast compound like they are at the moment.
Some information on Raikkonen. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Okay, problems for Raikkonen. He's in P3 as well, so he's going to be falling down the order unless he can get his issue sorted sometime soon. Again, another team radio.
Some information on Vettel. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
Wow. Both Ferraris having issues now, so some kind of huge issue setting back Ferrari in this Grand Prix. That could only help Fernando Alonso get back onto the podium with some of our nearest challengers running into issues. But running into the pits are we on lap 13 for a set of super soft tyres. We will go to the end of the Grand Prix now. We know this from league racing, that you can stretch these tyres to the end, and especially with the tyre wear upgrades this car has, I think there's at least 1 or 2. It should be fairly easy to take these to the end of the Grand Prix now. But
okay, some information on Van Dorn. They have some kind of mechanical problem.
Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? I was just about to talk about Van Dorn. He got the lead of the Grand Prix, and now
I have a problem, I think.
And now this was his time to push on, but now he's got a problem. Not too sure what it is. It isn't a puncture, not front wing damage, so it's something internal that we don't know. It could be straight line speed. I'm not too sure. It didn't look like he was losing too much time in the corners, but yeah, really weird issue. The gap was, I think, 15 seconds or something like that. We've now cut the gap down to literally nothing. The gap is 2 or 3 seconds now, and we were catching him by 3 or 4 seconds a lap, and now in many ways we've been robbed. We've been robbed of a chance to fight for the win, which is really disappointing. And on this lap in particular, I was pushing really hard to catch up to him. I wanted to overtake Stoffel on track, and we were even denied of that chance. So in the most anticlimactic way, we are going to win this race. And I just can't believe it. I was really angry as well because I wanted to battle Stoffel on track to get the position legitimately. That's not the case, but Stoffel pits on for a new set of super soft tyres, and as soon as he did that, the pace has come alive again for Stoffel. So I don't know, it may not be over him, but it may not be over for him, but with a 15-16 second gap to second place now, I think his chances of winning this Grand Prix is pretty much over. So yeah, again, like I've said it countless times, the way that McLaren and Honda get their issues, it really just, it happens in such an anticlimactic way that we don't get any on-track battles, and that's probably been the most frustrating thing for me to take part in and to upload this series, is just getting denied these chances to have some really good races. But I say that Stoffel has been catching us really quickly, about as quick as what I was catching him when he had problems. So a very interesting swing in the way that this race has gone. He's now catching up to the Sauber that I just lapped previously, so this may not be over. The gap is only 5 seconds, 3.6 seconds now as we get held up by Hulkenberg. The lap traffic for me has been absolutely atrocious. They keep blocking me on the inside of the apex and just parking it there, and I'm having to go around the outside and losing like 2 seconds in the middle of a corner. It's outrageous, and especially with Stoffel and his pace that's just come alive, he's cut the gap down to nothing. So a really weird race. A really, really weird race. This is Lance Stroll. Again, roadblock in the middle of the apex, which is exactly what you want. You'll have a replay of this. He's done the absolute worst thing you can do to a race leader. Parked it on the inside of a fast corner. I just did the smart thing. I braked, I did the undercut and managed to get out the inside there, but Stoffel wasn't so lucky on that occasion. But yeah, 2 laps to go in this Singapore Grand Prix, and it's all still left to play for now. Stoffel goes to the inside now as we go to the old Singapore sling. I'm going to try and hold around the outside there, which we do manage to do. It's worth noting as well, I'm running with really high downforce, 711 wings, and so it makes the McLaren Honda for once actually faster than me in a straight line. So yeah, Stoffel pretty much attacking me from all angles now as he goes up the inside into the third sector. We'll try and hold it around the outside if we can. We'll have the inside for the next left-hander. I think we might just have this. This is for the lead of the Grand Prix, by the way. I don't think I can stress this enough. This is for the win. And Stoffel tries to hang it around the outside, still side by side through this third sector. This is an unbelievable battle, and we just about come out on top there on the old super soft tyres. Let me take a breath. That was incredible. For a while there, I thought I wasn't going to get any on-track battles for the course of this race, and Stoffel has really made this race come alive. So, in many ways, I'm really loving this. But, yeah, 2 laps to go now. We've got to hold on and make sure we win this race. We were leading by so much. We just can't afford to let it go now. Again, Stoffel goes up the inside. It's really close between the two of us. There's a lot of contact there. Well, a light brush, and we're actually able to just about hold on to the lead there. A bit deep into the next right-hander, but we maintain the lead. He is really giving us a solid run for our money now. Last lap of the Grand Prix. Again, Stoffel is going to be one to watch on the straights, mind you. Simply because of how much downforce we're running, it means that he hasn't really got much of an advantage over us in the corners. But again, rich revs, using all the fuel we have available to us. He goes to the inside, and we're going to try and hold around the outside so that we can have the inside for the next right-hander. Job done. And now we can breathe. Oh my goodness. Just for a little bit.
Okay, some information on Van Dorn. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Oh no. Oh. He's got another problem. Well, looks like we're probably going to win this race now. With Stoffel getting some kind of problem. There was no contact on our end. He's got no front wing damage. So again, whatever that problem was, it's popped up again. But I think we were going to win the race anyway. Through the final corner, 25 points. What a great day.
Fantastic. You won the Grand Prix.
So here come our winning drivers today, and what a race it was. There's been a big push at the factory lately to get these cars ready, and we can see the fruits of that labour today as Red Bull lift the winner's trophy.
What a weird race. What a weird and wacky race. Just getting the win there over Stoffel Van Dorn. I don't know what happened to him mid-race. He was losing so much time. Then he pitted on for new tyres, and then his pace came alive again. And I promise you, I did not slow myself down at all. I was driving normally. I was driving you know, 100% to the finish, but he still caught me at a vast rate of knots. Just the new tyres really coming in quite clutch for him there. But 25 points, the gap in the end was 6/10, so a really close race in the end there. I was really dreading that we weren't going to have a race there. You know, I was even considering at some points even stopping this career mode if that race was going to carry on as it was without any battles. But thankfully, Stoffel has kind of redeemed this career mode series for me by really challenging me there at the end. So 37 points. Stoffel claims second in the driver's standings now over Fernando Alonso. I don't even know where he finished. I think it was like P6, P5, something like that. So a few points for Fernando. It was really just a case of damage limitation for him after that dreadful qualifying effort from him. But yeah, I'll take it. I'm not going to drive any differently. I'm going to push on as, you know, I normally am. I'm not going to make or kind of script a race from nothing. If the McLarens are going to beat me, they're going to have to beat me fair and square. But it is just a shame that how things have kind of transpired on the reliability side of things. But hopefully that's the last of it. It just seemed like a bit of a crunch point for some of the teams, reliability-wise. Ferrari were having issues. I think even some of the midfield teams had some issues as well. But as well in that race, a quiet achiever was Daniel Ricciardo. He got his first podium of the season, I think, and that was like the first time we actually got a glimpse of some of his pace, which was actually quite refreshing. Because Daniel has been absolutely nowhere, like back end of the top 10, getting fringe points. To finally get a podium, absolutely great. But guys, that's been this episode for today, the Singapore Grand Prix. Hopefully we can have more races like this where we're on level pegging with McLaren Honda, and reliability, I really hope, doesn't come into this now. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. The next race is the Japanese Grand Prix, and as always, that racetrack provides some really good racing, so I'm quite looking forward to it. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.